All right, good evening, good morning, good day, whatever, wherever you're watching this. So this is just a little update. First of all, I would like to completely apologize for the absolutely horrible quality of the video. My HD camera broke and I have no idea what in the world's wrong with it, so I'm using my phone. Maybe I'll try to slap this into Sony Vegas and buff it up a little. I don't know. Hey, puss. So, here it goes. It's been almost 10 years since I've been in this hobby, and you think you know everything, and once you get back into it, you kind of start realizing how much you've actually forgotten. Tried to do it cheap, tried to go dirt. It was an absolute nightmare. Should have just started with like fluorite from the beginning and whatever. Anyway, but here we are. So now the issue is ick. I got the neon tetras and the Otosynclus from PetSmart. I know, it's a big, huge, fat no-no, but they were on sale for $1 a piece, and I thought, I'll deal with it, even if they get ick. So they have ick. I've lost 3 of the 5 Otos, and I've lost a few tetras. They're actually faring really well. Anyway, it's the plants I'm more concerned about. So I did one treatment of some, honestly I can't remember what it was, but it, one of those things that turns the water bluish green, and as you can see, some of the things got kind of a little stained, but luckily my silicone did not, because it was just one treatment, and I thought, I'm not staining my display tank, so I'm going the route of high temps, and you probably never focus on that. It's like 82, 83 degrees. Anyway, and I'm slowly adding aquarium salt. Just started doing this today and vacuuming the bottom on a daily basis. So, this is something I actually know quite a bit about. This is the first time I think I've ever dealt with it in a planted tank. But, freshwater, saltwater brackish, the parasites are part of nature. But, as much as a part of nature we want this tank to be, it is not nature, because it is a closed system. So as long as the parasite, which is ick is a parasite, has hosts, i.e. fish, to latch onto, you're never going to get rid of it unless you do a couple special things. You can just throw medication in there. Of course, like I said, it's going to stain everything you have, every silicone. It's going to stain the wood. It's going to, it's not a fun thing. It will get rid of the ick, but you're going to hate your tank every day after that. So, basically, the way you would go about this is, these were the initial fish in this tank, so you might almost expect it, but you can still quarantine fish. You should always have a quarantine tank, 10, 15, 20-gallon tank, with like an air stone and a little, possibly a hang-on filter, I don't know, a heater. And you're gonna, you're gonna crank the heat up to 82 to 84 degrees, and this will also apply to this tank here in a moment. But if you're doing a quarantine, I always put every new fish you get into quarantine, whether they have ick or not. You just have to assume that they do. So you put them into quarantine, crank up the heat. Of course, there's no biological filter on this brand new tank, so yes, you're going to have to do massive water changes every day and dose with some Prime or Amquel or something. Prime would be my special go-to, since that is just the bomb. Anyway, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this for approximately 2.5 weeks, and it seems like a pain in the butt, but it's way less of a pain in the butt than treating your display tank. So, here is why you do these things. First of all, you crank the temperature up to 82 to 84 degrees. Why do we do this? Because the parasite has a life cycle, and that life cycle is somewhat dependent on the temperature of the water. If the water is warmer than normal, 82 to 84 degrees, it's going to highly speed up this life cycle. So, I've only seen these neon tetras scratch. I don't see any spots on them, but I see them flicking. I see them scratching on the wood, trying to scratch on leaves, blah, blah, blah. So I know something's going on. Something's in their gills. So the things that are in their gills, you can't see what's in their gills. You can see them respirating quickly, these kind of things. That's because these things, the parasites are infesting their gills, and it's hard for them to breathe because no oxygen is passing through their gills because they just can't take in any oxygen because their gills are full of parasites. And that's what eventually kills the fish, is the fact that they suffocate to death. So that is also the same life cycle that you see on either skin or fins as white spots. And when this part of the life cycle ends, it's like a cyst. That little cyst, it kind of looks like sugar when it's on the fish, will fall to the bottom of the tank. And in this 82 to 84 degree Fahrenheit cycle, in about a day and a half, 2 days tops, that cyst is going to break open, and you're going to have these free-swimming babies. So the cyst falls to the bottom of the tank. That's when it actually reproduces. It bursts open, and you have these free-swimming babies. Only in that stage are they susceptible to medications, malachite green, formaldehyde. I'm doing just salt. Obviously, I said I didn't want to stain my tank, so I'm doing salt. I'm adding salt little by little, plus with high temperatures to speed up the cycle. So here we have the cycle. You speed up the life cycle by upping the temperature. The only state of the parasite that is affected by any type of medication is the free-swimming state after it falls to the bottom of the tank and the cyst bursts open and releases the free-swimming babies. That's the only time it's really vulnerable. And the copper and metal-based medications work very well in an isolation tank or a hospital tank, but again, they'll stain your tank. Plus, in a planted tank, they do say plant safe, but because these are metals and metal-based, your plants are going to take them up like mad. So your plants are getting more of them than the fish are, and the fish are what need them. So I think in a planted tank, upping the temperature and doing some salt. Not too much because a lot of plants will die from salt, but just a little bit. I did 3 teaspoons today, and then I'll do a little water change and vacuum the bottom because I'm trying to get those spores out. And a little more salt, 4 more teaspoons tomorrow, and I, mix it in a cup of tank water, and then pour it back in a little bit at a time. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing. I did up the temperature, adding salt, and the salt is actually going to mess up the equilibrium of the free-swimming newborns, and that is what is going to kill them. They're going to be able to tolerate the salty water. It has too much mineral hardness, and the equilibrium between their bodies and the salt content of the water they're just not going to survive. So these are the things that actually kill them, and they have to be in that free-swimming state. So that's how you get rid of ick. And just always assume every new fish has it, and never buy fish from PetSmart, and get the hospital tank. It's not going to, there's 10-gallon tanks everywhere for like $5, so it's just not going to kill you. Oh, and here are my, everybody gets seasick. What I'm doing here, I got the bacteria supplement. I'm going to put that back in because I did dose with the medication, and that is basically going to kill off a small bit of my biological filter because I have no carbon in there. I'm going to throw some carbon in there to get rid of the medication because if you don't, it just won't ever leave. And then my C-Chem products, Prime, greatest thing on the planet, Flourish and Flourish Excel, love it all. I also put some root tabs in there yesterday from Flourish, and we'll see how that goes. And I got this little Marina hang-on, and it just basically, for probably a 5-gallon tank, 10-gallon tank tops. But I stuck it in there just for the carbon aspect, so it'll help kind of remove that other medication from the water. And then there's my aquarium salt. I'm doing that at a fairly low dose because of my plants. Sorry to swing you around like that, but and I'm just now redoing my CO2, so I'm going to be putting that back in there. And that's it for now. Post, comment, subscribe, whatever. Put down your comments about ick and what you think works, especially in a planted tank. Thanks a lot.